Hi folks, welcome back to the Hoard. And the sun's a little beyond here. Well, today was flea market day. First outdoor flea market for 2016 out in Stormville, New York. It's called the Stormville Airport Flea Market. Spring in the country or something like that they call it. So I kind of consider this the flea market where I get a lot of my supplies, a lot of the stuff I'm going to use for the year. I mean boring stuff like these are nitride gloves, 100. This was $7. The discs, I forgot what he got me for, but the discs and the holder, you slam that right into a drill. Or I also have the air tool that those hook to. This is 25 foot of electrical wire jacket, so to speak, harness cover, because I need to, build a harness for this thing. This is a bunch of the shrink wrap. Right, these were 3 for $5. Got me for $1 each. So these were $2, and I got 4 clips out of it. Anyway, that pile right there was $30. So I thought that was a decent deal. From the folks from China, that's $3. Still patching tires all the time. Another buddy of mine sells tools. I don't know. Oh, these were made in China. But DeWalt, I've found that if you don't use the better impact drivers, the better tips for driving screws, you're always changing the bit. You're stripping screws, and normally they strip when the screw is halfway in, and then how do you get the screw back out again because it's stripped? So you really got to kind of stick with the brand name, i.e. don't buy your tips at Harbor Freight. The guy also bought a whole load of this stuff. This is a bench top. This is Kmart, and I guess Kmart's pushing Sears stuff though. Made in the USA for Sears. I have to tell you, these SOBs are A, sharp, and B, they hang on to an edge for a long time. There's 5 in a package, and I ended up buying six packages. So I'm not going to need blades for quite a while, nor bits. These bits hold up pretty good. I have some experience with these. So wonderful stuff. Let me put it here for now. A guy, I don't know if he was moving south or whatever. He said he was moving, but he had this battery tender. This is one of those double guys, and it's actually the brand name battery tender. Hopefully, Delran, I don't know, however you say that. So I gave him $20 for this. It's complete. I opened the box and looked in it. So it's got 2 sets of cables and the charger, and hopefully once again it's decent. Supposedly it prevents desulfurization. I'm not seeing a date or anything. It's from Florida. Made in Florida, or imported from Florida. Four-step charging, initialization, bulk, absorption, and float. So anyway, so it was $20. Be able to keep a couple of batteries up. And then this was from a dollar tool person, and I like getting stuff that says American made from the dollar tool person. It's an awl with the tip bent. So this is a Sears screwdriver back when it was made in the USA. Craftsman. It happens to be a good size, so I picked it up, paid the $1 for it. Vise grip, real Vise grip, and I always check the Vise grips to see how much side to side play there is, and these are pretty good. Not much side to side play, so I'm happy with that. These are Chinese, but they seem to be fairly well made. So I can't seem to have enough wire strippers. Alright, and lastly, kind of for the go-kart mini bike cord, a buddy of mine had bearings. So I got 4 of that size, I don't know, 5/8, a couple of 1/2 inch, because he only had 2 1/2 inch. And then I picked up 3 of these, and I think those are 3/4. Anyway, so all 9 bearings were $6, which I considered a steal, right? And I have my box of mini bike stuff right here, so I'm going to pop them right into the box, because I have a couple of wheels floating around that really do need the bearings. And lastly, guy had springs, and these were 5 for $1. And he really didn't, it wasn't a huge bin of springs, but this was really the only size I needed. But I figured these would be good for a throttle, or the return spring for the brake on that, or something like that. So just kind of add them right to the mini bike stuff. Hoard. As you can see, I kind of backed off, and I didn't want to spend too much money for a couple of reasons. First of all, I got nowhere to put anything, so that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, I got a car show coming up in 2 weeks. The Rhinebeck. It's at the fairgrounds in Dutchess County. So that's a really big show. It's one of my big ones for the year. I guess I'm down to the point where I just have 3 really big shows of the year that I've been going to. This doesn't include flea markets when I go visit my son, or these Stormville ones, or if I decide to go to the one in East Fishkill, or the one out on 44 in Poughkeepsie, or actually that's Fishkill, not East Fishkill. So there are other flea markets I go to, but then there's the big ones that, I'm like, I go loaded for bear. I show up with a lot of cash, and I make arrangements for transporting things just in case I buy something big, like a golf cart or a 3-wheeler. So that's I only have 3 of those left. It's the car show in Rhinebeck, and that's the first full weekend in May. Then there's the 2 garage sales. They call it the garage sale at Stormville. It's at that airport thing. And there's one in June and one in September, I believe. Those are my big shows. Those are the ones those are the ones I show up and I'm prepared. If the deals are right, I walk in with $1,000, right? I normally don't spend nearly that much. I normally only spend a few hundred, but I show up to those shows loaded for bear. I show up, and if a guy's got a $1,500 log splitter for $300, I'm buying it, and I make arrangements for getting it home and the whole bit. So, lastly, this wheel. I broke the bead again. I sanded the rim so you can see this is all nice and smooth, right? There's no boogers for it to hang on. This is Dawn, right? And it really is Dawn. And water, I sprayed the heck out of it. And I can't get this to finish sealing. This does have a tube in it. So I'm thinking the tube might be cattywampus. You know how some tubes, they're kind of bulgy? They look like an old person on the beach in Florida, all bulgy and all. So I'm wondering if I don't have a tube problem. I've been spending a lot of time sniffing about the Hoard for tires. And I mean, this is a beautiful tire here, right? The only problem is the lug spacing is 110. That doesn't mean much to you guys, but the 200S has 110s, and these guys have 110s. So I'm glad I found it, because that could become one of the front tires, perhaps, that keeps wanting to go flat on me. So I'm happy that I found it, but I'm wishing, though, given that it matches all of these, I was wishing that it was these guys, the ones that go on the 200S, are known as 130 millimeters, right, or centimeters. I don't know, probably millimeters. Yeah, 130 millimeters. Though this rim is drilled for both 110 and 130. Annoying, but what are you going to do? The last thing I want to do, and take you guys for a walk. Some of you guys like to look at the Hoard as we go by. Some of you, there are some new folks also, so sometimes, I flash the camera into one of these sheds or something. They go, oh man, there's an interesting shed. A shed of old motors. Mostly Briggs, I think. I just want to make sure this thing stayed up on all its tires. Also, if I go in and out of the sheds, it has a tendency to nice fall. That one is a little lighter than the other one, and I'm not tripping anything on the ground. Good. Yep, my newest runner. Got another big red back to life. I must say, I've been retired for less than 4 months now. And I've been getting a lot of stuff running. You guys remember the winter project, the 350, right, quad? So I got that running. I got the big red running, right? I got the China bike running. I got that thing started again. I think that one, yeah, I got that one started up again. These tires, though I'm still taking them, they're drilled for 100 spacing, and which means they don't fit anything. I'm going to have to re-drill them for 110 because I can't drill them for 130. The hole in the rim, the center of the rim, isn't big enough. This isn't big enough for 130. Good because it makes it easier to get the tires on and off, but bad because I can't do it for 130. So if I do want to put those on the back of this thing, I got to change the hubs out and put 200X hubs on this guy. I'm trying to keep this thing as original as possible, and I keep finding myself in these compromises, right? So to keep this as original as possible, what do I do with the tires? I guess my other temptation is maybe I'll get the tube out of that tire and see if I can get it to seal. I've had some luck. See that big band? This guy, ow. I've had some luck getting tubeless tires to seal by using the band. You kind of go around the outside and do it. Maybe this would seal. The rim's really in decent shape. The tire's in good shape. So maybe if I get the tube out of there, I could get it to seal and be done with it. While I was also messing with other tires, that's off of the big red front tire. That rim, the tire, already sent out for recycling. I'm not sure what that one's off of. I think it's the same size, 25, 13.9. Anyway, so I guess this about covers it. Folks, I want to thank you all for watching and commenting and subscribing. If you have any questions, please ask. Remember to keep your feet down, keep your head up, and folks, get out there and enjoy all your days. Go to a flea market, buy some crap you don't need. Take care now, folks. Bye.